Hello, bonjour, and welcome to One Man's Track's second attempt at a bilingual album review. Bienvenue à mon deuxième essai à critiquer un album en deux langues. If you're interested in my previous floundering attempt, it's linked up there and down in the description if there's any Cœur de Pirate fans out there. Aujourd'hui, je voudrais discuter un album que j'ai récemment découvert à la boutique d'objets d'occasion. Once again, another exciting thrift shop pickup that has me captivated that I think you'll enjoy quite a bit. C'est un record hip-hop de la France qui est publié dans l'année 1999 par l'artiste Bams. She derives her name from the Bamileke people of Cameroon, her home country, and Bams displays an impressive poetic intellect with really fast-flowing, outspoken rapping over top of some fairly classic-sounding underground hip-hop instrumentals. Sa voix coupe à travers des lourds, des engageants beats, et son approche dynamique permet une écoute agréable quel que soit votre niveau de compréhension. An album that is enjoyable regardless of whether or not you can speak French. This is Bams' debut album released in 1999 through Trema Records, Vivre ou Mourir, Live or Die. Un projet qui dérive une grande influence de la côte est d'Amérique, mais aussi un peu de jazz et funk et un peu de afrobeat là-dedans. Avec son producteur DJ Junkers Lou, sa style franche et intense fait une impression immédiate pour quelqu'un comme moi qui vient de découvrir le hip-hop français. I can't keep this up forever, but Bams has got me more inspired to practice my French than any of my French teachers in the past ever did, so before we jump into the tracks, we'll try one more time here. Avec le titre comme Vivre ou Mourir, nous pouvons attendre des thèmes introspectifs, dépressifs, des questions politiques et humaines, un palais de mauvaise humeur qui transcende le langage. I hope that makes sense because that's all I got for now. Let's jump into this moody banger of an LP. Starting out with the poetically penned title track. The song Vivre ou Mourir is a torrent of heavy-hitting lines with flow reminiscent of B.I.G., and the instrumental has these classic beats complemented by these really beautifully drawn-out violin chords. This one will have you singing along with the chorus right away, bobbing to it, and slapping that repeat button from the get-go. The following track is about rejection of expectations and pushing through vulnerabilities. It's got this one-word multilingual chorus that is just the word no. The song's titled Non, and they somehow managed to take a bunch of different no words from different languages and create this incredibly hooky chorus on this thing. If you're not hooked in by this one or the previous, I'm not sure if you're going to like this album. Différent reiterates Bams' against the grain identity about how she gained and changed her perspectives on life. I believe she's wrestling a bit with her past on this one, but honestly she's so verbose that I'm not 100% sure I can break down all these tracks as accurately as I want to with just my high school French education. Her use of the French language seems to enable some of the most well-woven flows I've ever come across, particularly on the following Encore une fois. I'll read a little bit of it for you here. Elle fait des régimes pour mieux te plaire, un squelette va te satisfaire, moi t'as lissé, tissé comme un tigresse que tu surenchères. The song, in English, the title means once again, and it's this sort of stream of consciousness approach to a song where she's just kind of telling another day in the life, not enough time or motivation to write, and not enough money to do anything fun beyond like hook up with a boyfriend, but even that seems to blow up in her face and turn into a stressful encounter, and so she has to continue on her journey doing her best to stay nonchalant and introspective throughout. The beats do start to feel a bit stale, a bit stagnant, and especially when you're comparing them to Bam's delivery. The following track, La Ennemie, features the rap group Nice, and it does bring some fresh energy to the mix. The chorus is actually also written by rapper Sinistre, not to be confused with the late rapper Sinister. Sinistre appears on a couple tracks down the list here, Bol d'air, with some really solid writing, but honestly I don't really like his words when he delivers them as much as when somebody else does. I do really like the complimentary piano that comes up and sets the tone on the next track, Ma chanson d'amour, My Song of Love. I really particularly enjoy the one line in it, Même quand on se quitte, on se donne une forme olympique. It means even when you quit, we're still going to be in top form, and it alludes to both the struggles of being a perfectionist as well as her own decision to quit pursuing the dream of being a Olympic level triple jumper. And back in 1996 she almost went to the Olympics, and maybe it's because I don't speak French, but I feel like the simpler she makes her choruses, the more memorable they become. On to Douleur de Femme, A Woman's Grief, where she expresses her frustration with not being taken seriously because of her gender and just prejudice in general. I like the wailing sample they use here, but once again the instrumental just feels like it's trying its best to keep up with Bam's and only ever catches her when you hit the chorus on this one here. Étrange Époque addresses the absurdity of living in the modern era. It hits you with the drastic comparisons of the first world frolicking while the third world digs graves. In English the title is Strange Times, and it's full of those comparisons like we're building great big armies while we let the planet just wilt away, and just generally how uncaring the world seems to feel leading up to the year 2000. Then easily my favorite title of the track list is Zon, a French word for prison, but apparently a Dutch word for sunshine? Strange little thing that I just happened upon, but the unfortunate part about this is the energy just doesn't seem to match the themes at all here, and it's sort of this low-key, funkier number that doesn't have much bite. I think it maybe is trying to represent sort of the monotonous nature of being stuck in a prison, but unfortunately that makes it not really stick with me at all. When just casually listening to this project, it seems to flow by quite quickly, but it is over an hour long, and we've just now made it to the final third of it with the track Moi ma violence. It's got this great big booming bass line, and then rapper Mio on the next track takes the mic and hits you with another heavy hidden number, the track 2010. Pas Merci has another pair of features on it, but ultimately they're unremarkable when compared to Bam's. The final two tracks here give me the conclusion I wanted out of this album, with Bam's back center stage rapping about confronting biases, talking about why she raps, and just showing off that distinctive style of hers on the tracks Underground Style and Si Je Rap. Both great memorable cuts, good beats, great flows with just, again, that undeniable head bopping feeling. I was pretty excited after listening to this to jump into more Bam's music, but that was honestly easier said than done. And I almost forgot to mention there's a little bonus track on the end of Si Je Rap with a bunch of different voices kind of completing each other's sentences. It's just a spoken word kind of rap, and sure, it's enjoyable, but you don't need it. Like I said, easier said than done. Her 2006 record Deux Mondes is only really available in pieces online. It's pretty good from what I can glean from it, but I think this might be her opus. Following that 2006 release, she moved towards a neo-soul sound. I think it probably has to do with her becoming a parent, becoming a mother, but I'm not going to make any assumptions there. It's pleasant enough, but it's just not really my cup of tea. I will link her album Dérèglement Climatique and her EP En Partira in the description, along with this, of course. While searching around for more band's music, I stumbled into a couple of other artists using basically the same name, and they just don't compare. J'espère que vous avez apprécié mon critique de Vivre ou Mourir. Si vous avez l'apprécié, appuyez sur le like, s'abandonner pour des vidéos hebdomadaires de one man's tracks. Over here next to my head is an admittedly pretty poorly made review of French-Canadian singer Cœur de Pirate's album. Over here is some more 90s reviews I've done, some albums I enjoy quite a bit. Thanks so much for watching, and au revoir tout le monde.